Last week, Nifty dropped pretty sharply from the highs of 25,100 and we made a short-term bottom at around 24,463, 465. And from there, we have been able to bounce back pretty sharply in just 2 trading sessions, not just in Nifty, but also in Bank Nifty. So I think the main question is, have we made a short-term bottom? Are we going to start rallying from here or not? That is what I'll address today. My name is Vishal and you're watching the weekly sectoral analysis. Generally, I do share my view on the Nifty spot monthly, weekly and the daily time frame charts. But today, since the movement which is coming in the last few trading sessions is more in the 2 hourly and the daily time frame charts, so I'll focus on daily and the 2 hourly time frame charts more and little bit on the weekly time frame as well. So if I have a look at the Nifty spot in the weekly time frame chart, we can see that the trend is continuing to remain up, slightly overstretched. A little bit of distance is surely there between the price and the moving averages, and that is why we saw consolidation happening over here. Also, this drop happened last week because of a negative divergence. We can clearly see over here higher high in price and lower high in RSI, which did lead to this short-term correction over here in the 2 hourly time frame charts. Now the first support over here in the 2 hourly time frame chart is somewhere around at 24,606 to 24,700. Now this support was taken out on the downside, but if you check the close, because this support was breached in intraday on 22nd May, you can see these 2 candles, and then suddenly over here market started bouncing back. Now this bounce back has actually happened due to 2 reasons in the 2 hourly time frame charts. First is we have sort of not exactly, but a double bottom in the shorter term time frame chart, and we have this cluster which was helping the markets to stay higher. Now in the daily time frame chart, if I go back to square one, if I go back to the candlestick charts, you will be able to see that this entire trend has been able to retrace by 23.6%, almost there, not exactly, almost there. And this entire band is, according to me, a short-term support, 24,350 to 24,450, 456. And exactly from the upper level of this particular short-term support band, Nifty has been able to bounce back. So far, so good. Now, is this a bottom? Well, it's very difficult to say as of now, because by looking at the RSI, it would be very, very early to say, because generally when markets bottom out in the short term, we try to consolidate and then slowly and steadily we try to inch higher, and same sort of patterns are visible in RSI. But so far nothing is visible, but I can say one thing, that in the 2 hourly time frame charts, you can see this zone, this entire zone. Now this is the first high, this one 24,900, then this is 24,944, and again this high which is 24,966. So let me take as a round figure, if I say that if we start trading above 25,000 levels, then the short-term momentum once again will start going on the upside. We'll see some movement on the upside. How much? Well, that's a very difficult question. But yes, once Nifty spot starts sustaining about 25,000, some good news can be possible. Well, Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, yes, it is in an uptrend. I do not deny that for sure. But if you have a look properly in the line chart over here, we do have a higher high in the price and lower high in the RSI. Now, this looks like a negative divergence, but it is not a very, very strong negative divergence. If we would have closed this week in an extremely big red candle on the downside, then yes, this negative divergence would look very, very weak. But so far, it's not looking like that, because if you convert this candle back into the candlestick chart, you will see a green candle. Actually, we needed a big red candle, something like that. Then it would make sense for the bears. Now, again, if we have a look at the daily time frame chart, you can see that it has been able to consolidate and the space between the price and the weekly moving averages is a bit more. So I think the trend stays up in the 2-hourly time frame charts, no doubt, even in the daily time frame charts, no doubt. But I think before we start going on the upside, little bit sideways movement would be actually healthy for Bank Nifty. I'm not saying that it will happen, but if we do consolidate before we go higher, it will be much better for this banking index. All right, so going ahead, I would have a look at the private banking space. In the private banking space, you can see that we can clearly see one thing, that the trend is up in the weekly time frame chart, and over here we do have a red candle, but again this red candle is like a hanging man, or you can call it a long-legged doji, something like that, and it is in red color. So yes, in comparison to Bank Nifty, private banks are little bit they are facing the dilemma of momentum. The momentum is not very strong in the private banking space, but the trend is surely up. So again, I think a little bit of consolidation before we start going up would be healthy for the index. PSU banking space. Now, PSU banking space is much different than the private banking space. The trend is up as of now. Yes, you will see that this candle is a sort of a shooting star, but the overall state of trend is not bad. If you have a look at the daily time frame chart, things are not that bad. Even if you add a retracement over here, like such a short rally, just in a matter of 10 trading sessions, we have been able to pull back pretty sharply. And after the pullback, we are retracing only by 23.6%. So I guess overall trend is up. Momentum is also looking fine. Once we start trading about possibly you can say 67.70 or 67.80, some sort of short-term momentum on the upside could be possible in the PSU banking space as well. Energy pack again, it is in a pullback mode in the weekly time frame charts. If you have a look just for a second, if you just have a look at the monthly time frame chart, you will see very clearly that the trend is flat. We are just bouncing back. We're just bouncing back from the 61.80% retracement and this previous high. So now if I go back to the weekly time frame chart, you will understand that although the price is above the dual moving averages, but we are just in a pullback mode. We are not that strong in the energy pack in the weekly time frame charts, but certainly for a short-term trader, if you have a look in the daily and in the 2-hourly time frame charts, things are better. So I think once we surpass, possibly looking clearly in the 2-hourly time frame charts, I can say that somewhere over here 35,830, or even this recent high, if this is surpassed, some sort of short-term momentum on the upside is possible. Autopack, I think again in the weekly time frame charts, we are trying to go higher. Momentum is catching up, but we should not forget that we are retracing this entire down move which happened from September to possibly March. We are retracing it. We are near a zone of resistance. You can see this candlestick cluster. In terms of trend, we are surely up in the daily time frame charts. In the 2-hourly time frame charts, if you have a look very clearly, then I would say that we have retraced, and after retracing we have come to a shorter term support. Now this zone for the auto pack is sort of a short term support. So I think once we start trading above last 3 days trading session high, probably somewhere above this candle, about 24K or something like that, then some upside momentum, some positivity is surely expected in the auto pack. Consumption pack looks a little bit more stronger than other sectors as of now. Yes, we are still at a resistance in the weekly time frame chart. It's pretty much visible over here. You can see we are at a zone of resistance, no doubt about that. But overall state of trend looks fine. The RSI looks fine. Candles are looking fine. Even in the 2-hourly time frame charts, the way we have been able to trend on the upside, and again when we had a throwback throwback means in an uptrend when the price comes down for a short-term correction and then bounces back. This bounce back has been very fast. It has been very swift. It did not stay there very far for a very long time, and that is a sign of a strong uptrend. So you can see there are a couple of hammers, a spinning top over here, and then we have a pullback. So overall things are okay. I think once we start trading above 11,600 or 11,650, some upside can be visible in the consumption pack as well. Overall, I think it's we can say that overall sector is looking positive. Fine. Finance pack, I think the trend is up, no doubt about that. We certainly have a sign of slowdown of momentum in the weekly time frame chart. You can see that we do have a higher high over here in price, and we do have a sort of, it is not a negative divergence, but it is a sign that the momentum is slowing down in the weekly time frame charts. The trend is up in the daily and in the 2-hourly time frame chart over here, but the momentum is slow. Once the momentum improves, only then we will be able to see some speedy rally in this particular sector. But as of now, the momentum is slowing down. So you have to be a little bit careful if you're a short-term trader looking on the long side in the finance pack. And that's my cell phone giving an alarm. All right. FMCG pack. Now FMCG pack, I should say that it's trying very hard. I should say in the weekly time frame charts, it is trying very hard. If you have a look in the monthly time frame chart also, it's trying pretty hard. We do have a couple of good candles. Then we have a pretty good, you can say, crack of volatility on the downside, which is good sign. And when we go back to the weekly time frame chart, we can see 3 consecutive candles, at least 2 consecutive candles with less wick on the upside and more wicks on the downside, which means some buying is surely happening on the downside, which is also visible over here in the FMCG pack. You can see some buying is visible, but upsides are getting capped. Somehow we are just consolidating. So I think overall it looks fine, but just by saying or staying positive on a particular sector won't help. Yeah, things are looking fine. There is no problem, but we should now start trending on the upside much fast as possible, because if it is a good sector, then it should not hold down on the downside. All right. So things are fine, but we need to rally as fast as possible. Infra pack, one of the strongest sectors which I've been repeating from a long time. You can see in the weekly time frame chart, we have closed above a swing high. This is a swing high. Two-hourly time frame charts, trend up. Daily time frame charts, trend up. Weekly time frame charts, trend strong, breakout and up. Everything is looking fine. What we had recently was just a short-term spurt on the downside. It was a short-term correction, nothing much. So I guess once we start trading above the recent highs, or maybe even somewhere above 9,070 or something, we sustain above it, I think the upside momentum can start on the upside. IT pack. IT pack in the monthly time frame chart, it's trying to improve very hard because we have a very big hammer. This candle is, although not closed, today is 24th, and on Monday it will be 26th. So we are coming near an end of this month. So far the candle is looking okay, but it is facing some resistance on the upside. Even in the daily time frame charts, I should say one thing, that after this initial pullback, we consolidated for a few days. We gave a second breakout. After the initial breakout, we again consolidated, we went down. Now I should say that if it wants to go higher at any cost, if IT pack wants to continue to go higher, the heavyweights in this sector should participate on the upside, and we need to close above this recent high with proper third on the upside with a proper big green candle, or else it could be difficult for this sector. Metal pack. Metal pack, things are looking okay in the weekly time frame charts, even in the daily time frame charts and in the 2-hourly time frame charts. But I think if you just have a look at one single thing in the daily time frame charts, lot of consolidation, loads of smaller candles. So generally when this sort of things are visible, I think it's better to stay away and wait for a proper confirmation from this particular sector. Although why this is happening, because only one single reason is that we are at a resistance. The price is clearly knowing that we are at a short-term resistance. So if we close above this resistance and sustain, then yes, then this uptrend will continue. Till then, I think the consolidation is going on. So overall state of trend is fine. It's okay. It's bullish, but we need to surpass the recent high. Pharma pack again, I think it's consolidating in the weekly and in the daily time frame charts, and the trend is down in the 2-hourly time frame chart. So I think I will wait. I will not share my any view, because at times when all the three time frames are looking very different, because if you see properly, the placement of the moving averages is bearish over here in the weekly charts. In the daily charts, it's a bit better. Again, in the 2-hourly time frame charts is bearish. So when all the three time frame charts are looking very different from each other, I think we should wait for better times. PSE sector. PSE sector, I think it's looking great. The next resistance in the weekly time frame chart is close to 10,400 as in terms of swing high. So we are a little bit far from that. In terms of momentum also, I think things are looking okay in the daily and in the 2-hourly time frame charts. And this recent correction we saw was a healthy correction on the downside. We have been able to bounce back with the help of this previous high in the 2-hourly time frame charts. And now I think once we start trading above probably 10,015 or 10,050 also, I think the upside momentum should continue. Realty pack. Realty pack, it has surprised everyone. Let's have a first look in the monthly time frame charts. Now, monthly time frame charts after this recent rally, before this rally, I think it was looking hunky-dory, but right now after this recent spurt, it's looking much better, I should say. In the weekly time frame charts, the placement of the moving averages is not that great, but the price is rallying. The momentum is on the upside. In the trend is on the upside surely in the daily time frame charts, but we are slowly and steadily going towards a short-term consolidation, because you can clearly see in the last few days prices have not been able to move. Are we near a short-term resistance? Let's find out. The answer is yes. So this is the short-term resistance. The recent high 946 or 950 in round figure is a resistance. You can see this 127.20 extension is giving a short-term resistance to this particular sector. I think we will need a little bit more consolidation. Maybe short-term profit booking is also fine over here. Overall trend stays up in the daily time frame chart. In the 2-hourly time frame chart, we may see some sort of correction or consolidation, but I think it's not a very good time to go aboard if you're a short-term trader. As positional traders, maybe they can continue to ride the trend. Midcap pack overall looks bullish. In the weekly time frame charts, things are okay. Even in the 2-hourly time frame charts, you can see we have been able to bounce back pretty nicely. The daily time frame chart also looks pretty good enough. We are just consolidating, but trend is up. So I think summing it up all, what has happened recently is that we needed a little bit consolidation, a little bit correction. The way we have rallied recently from this point to this point, it has been very fast. So according to my analysis, if we had a little bit more deeper correction, obviously as a trader, you would like that. But market has its own mind, and generally saying any index which is retracing slightly less, it is always a good sign. So in case if we would have retraced till 23,800 and then bounce back, in comparison to that scenario, this scenario where we have been able to, throw back or come down a little bit lesser is a much stronger scenario, and it is good for the markets. But again, as I'm saying, do not forget that this is what I mentioned in my last video also, that we are still retracing this previous downtrend. Do not go gaga on the market. Be cool, calm, composed. Take your trades very, very calmly, and also be sure that which particular sectors you are going to pick, because currently it is not the market where all the sectors are looking great. If you see, as a short-term trader, private banks are consolidating. IT pack, it's very unsure of. Yes, it has given a breakout, but we need continuous momentum. Metal pack also looks positive, but it is consolidating. So things are better, but you need to pick your right sectors. All right. So I hope this video will help you to understand how markets will move in the next few days. Trade less and trade wisely. Thank you.